What's up, gamer girls? Welcome to an epic world history war tier list from your boy Skinny Dog Productions. Now, let's jump right into this. We have some of the Gucci great wars here: World War One, World War Two, American Revolution, Crusades, Napoleonic Wars, October Revolution, Syrian Civil War. Everyone's favorites. Now, let's actually jump right into this. Okay. Thunlock tier, the worst, horrid, not nice tier. This might be a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me. Vietnam is Thunlock tier. Now, I know all the memes about Vietnam War stuff. That's like the only redeeming quality, and they suck. So it's just going straight to Thunlock tier. It's like not much happened. It's not really that fun to learn about. Everyone was sad. They got addicted to heroin, and everyone hated them. Everyone talks bad about the Vietnam War, and it was a bad thing in every respect, and it wasn't that cool. The memes aren't that funny. Very not good war. Also in Thunlock tier, I'm gonna put the Gulf War, because pretty similar story, but more modern and with oil and other memes that are even worse. It just, yeah, same sort of vein as the Vietnam War. Now, those are the very booky wars. Let's go to E tier. Right into E tier with there's a lot of choices. Okay. It's another controversial thing. This list is gonna have quite a few controversial decisions, but I'm gonna do it. Civil War, American Civil War precisely, is E tier. Yep. All of you Confederate fans out there, the South may or may not rise again. I'm gonna let that sink in for y'all. Anyway, so the thing about the American Civil War is that it's not all that fun. It's pretty sad, and it was pretty important in U.S. history, but like outside of the U.S., no one really cared, and you just all U.S. history classes end up spending like 75% of the year, 75% of the year learning about the Civil War and going over it in way too much detail. So, yeah, maybe it's a bit biased because I'm just tired of it, but yeah. Speaking of civil wars, the Syrian Civil War is also E tier because it's crazy complicated. It's just like so many different factions and people you don't care about fighting each other. You just read the Wikipedia article on it, and you gain no information and no positive emotion from the experience. Very booky. Also, it's really sad. Even for me, just all the pictures are sad. Anyway, D tier, below average, not all that bad though. I'm gonna put the War of the Roses there. This is probably the least known war on this tier list. Just by the way, quick disclaimer: if you're not good with history, I'm not going to explain it, so go look it up, because I don't want to explain the intricacies behind how the War of the Roses started in a quick YouTube video I'm making over the course of a day, because I'm bored. Just all I know about it is like the House of Lancaster was like, hey, the rightful king is my nephew's cousin's weird uncle, and another House of York was like, hey, no, it's this other thing, whatever. It's pretty booky, not really important, but it's kind of fun, and I'm pretty sure Alice in Wonderland is based off that, so bonus points, I guess. Sure. C tier, because, yeah, that's all I can think of for D tier. C tier. I'm gonna put the 7 Years' War in C tier. Now, y'all probably know about the 7 Years' War is that, like, the very brief once over you get in U.S. history class, which is, it goes into basically none of it. And it's basically the real First World War, and it's pretty cool, but not all that cool, kind of middling in terms of war coolness, and not really that memeable. So, as an average war, C tier. Speaking of average C tier wars, another controversial decision. The American Revolution is C tier. Now, okay. Yep. Letting that sink in again. So, the reason the American Revolution is C tier, I would have put it lower because American wars aren't all that cool. The American Revolution is also like the Civil War, just beat to death in U.S. history class. But it's just a lot more interesting to learn about because of just how hard the odds are stacked against the Americans. And, like, there's no way they should have won, but they did because why not? America! Anyway, moving on, I'm gonna humana. This is where it gets sort of difficult. I'm gonna put the Spanish Inquisition / Reconquista there. You know what? I'm gonna go pee and then tell you about my decision. Alright, I'm back for more war shenanigans. I decided, yes, I'm gonna put the Spanish Inquisition in C tier because / Reconquista in C tier because other than the Monty Python meme, it's sort of, it happened and not really much else to say about it. Yeah, it's just Christian people killing Muslim people, and we already have enough of that in today and the rest of history. It's just Spanish flavored and more memeable. So, anyway, B tier. Pretty wars, but not particularly that. Now, I'm gonna put another, it's probably less controversial than the other ones, but World War I in B tier. Because just a lot of people sitting around in trenches, not doing much and dying. So it's not really that amazing, but it's quite a few good, like Battlefield 1, Florence of Arabia, other media things that talk about it, and All Quiet on the Western Front. That's a lesser known one. So All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, it's a book. It's pretty good. It's really sad, and yeah, pretty okay, but better than C tier. Now, another B tier. I'm gonna go with the 100 Years War because it's pretty similar to the War of the Roses in terms of complicatedness, but less so. And it's more important since it's the reason Britain and France aren't the same thing. Pretty much, not really. It's sort of an oversimplification, but okay. And it yeah, Joan of Arc was in it, so the feminists like it. Sure, like makes I don't know. Yeah, it's okay, but better than average, I guess. I'm really tired. Anyway, another possibly controversial choice is the Emu War. Everyone likes to clown on the Emu War, but it's not really that funny. People go like, "Oh my gosh, Emu War! The emus won!" Ah! But in actuality, it's just Sure, it happened. Yeah, to get a lot of emus. Not even sure why I put it on here. It's not all that funny. Yeah, and feel like there's more B tier stuff. Oh yeah, the October Revolution, or the Russian Civil War. It's pretty neat, I guess. Pretty memeable, but memeability does not go much into these lists. And into this list, it's sort of a bonus factor. And yeah, it's just like, hey, we're communists now, and they're like, okay, fine, but it's very memeable. That meme factor is much more apparent here than other wars, because I think I'm having a stroke. Anyway, okay. Oh, the Norman con the Norman conquest of England is also B tier. Because it's important enough to have an oversimplified video on it, so that means it must be good. And it's pretty nice anime moment in history, because it's like three kingdoms colliding in one, but mainly two. And yeah, look it up, it's fun. Or watch the oversimplified video. Sure, do that. Anyway, moving on. I feel like it's all for B tier. A tier, pretty juicy, but not the juiciest. Now, this is probably the most controversial decision on this whole list. This is gonna make all y'all just go wild. Just take use the black market to find my location and carpet bomb my house, whatever. World War II is A tier, not S tier. World War II is not an S tier war, it is A tier. Yep. 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 I just did it. Yep. I stand by that decision because I mean, it is quite a juicy war. Lasted for quite a while, very important, very anime, pretty memeable. All sorts of different stories you can tell about it, but it's so juicy that everyone likes and talks about how cool World War II is. It's like it might be just the juiciest cow here, but everyone's going up and sucking on it, so you get less of it. That's not a very good metaphor, but it's a weird image. I'm gonna put it in there just so all of you are slightly less comfortable today. Yeah. It's just everyone talks about how cool it is. It makes it feel less cool. It's very overrated. It's not all that amazing. Sorry, I just choked on air. Anyway. I'm mostly gonna put the Crusades in A tier because very memeable, very kind of important, very fun to learn about, but it's just very dumb. How dumb they were in their execution and everything about it. Because just as an example, a taste of how dumb the Crusades were. In the Fourth Crusade, there were 9, by the way. So just a reminder, that means there are 5 after this one. In the Fourth Crusade, they sacked their own city. The Crusaders, they sacked their own city because they didn't get paid enough. So yeah, that's all I need to say about that. Very dumb, very booky. I'm gonna put as well the conquests of Alexander the Great. Probably the most important wars on this list. Very, very important. The reason Western civilization exists, pretty much. I can't talk. I'm slowly decomposing throughout this video. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's the reason a lot of things happened, and really I feel like what makes it A tier, not S tier, is that Alexander the Great, he died immediately after he conquered the whole world. pretty much all of the known world, so we couldn't like do much afterwards. It's pretty sad, but very sad anime moment, but still very tasty wars. Now, moving on, I'm gonna put the War of the Thunlunkian Secession, also known as that time I told you to unsubscribe from Thunlunk. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty tasty anime battle between the amazing, very high quality content Skinny Dog Productions YouTube channel and the very not good, very dry, not juicy Thunlunk channel. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of a drum roll here. I mean, there's only one option for S tier, and sorry kids, the pizza was here. You can't resist the CC's pizza. Anyway, yeah, S tier, the Napoleonic Wars. Now, why are the Napoleonic Wars better than everything else on this list? Because it has everything. They were very important in European history. It's pretty memeable. Just I feel like it's a bit underrated in the meme category. Honestly, it's has an actual protagonist, Napoleon. So you can just like World War II had some protagonists like Hitler, the best protagonist. Anyway, Napoleon was an amazing general. He did some weird stuff. I mean, cool stuff, and weird stuff. He went into Egypt and like found like the like Sphinx and went to Australia for some reason. Anyway, so it's just amazing all the way around, and it has the best anime plot twist. If history was an anime, all of it, then on the Watch Mojo top 10 anime plot twists in history, would number 1, dwarfing all the others with its sheer juiciness, would be the Battle of Waterloo, when Napoleon, after he lost the quote-unquote final battle, which is I forgot what it was called. Look it up. He was exiled to the island of Elba off the coast of Italy, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stay here forever, dog." And they were like, "Okay, dog." But then he was like, "Fella, I'm finna swim back to France or boat in a tiny boat, I forgot, and just roll up to the army and say, 'Ayo, I'm back.'" Then they swapped to his side, and then he took over France in like a day or two. And then he had an epic anime battle with the the Seventh Coalition. Basically the seventh time all of Europe had fought against Napoleon, and he ended up losing, not by much though. And okay, just if that isn't a picturesque anime battle, I don't know what is. Napoleonic Wars S tier all the way, all day. So that concludes this epic anime tier list. If your opinions are different, then well, number 1, they're wrong, and 2, leave them in the comments. Give me those comment metrics, please. Also, like, subscribe, unsubscribe from Thunlunk, share with your grandpa who was in the Vietnam War, so he'll agree with it's being in the Thunlunk category and like the video. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I have a ketamine addiction.